Happy Tuesday. I am not here, which is why you are listening to my recorded voice. Today, what we are going to be doing is making sure that you have filled out your self-assessment on your letter. All right? I'm recording this on Monday morning, so I am not sure how far you are in your revising. Just know that once you fill out your self-assessment and you've done a good job, you can either today go back to the revising that you didn't complete yesterday, or you can read your independent reading book. All right? So just a refresher on Google Classroom here, you have your final assessment, you have your final draft, your self-assessment. You have our revision kind of checklist or ideas for what you can do to revise, and you have a letter self-assessment example that I've written. When you click on your letter, you have this, and hopefully you've copied and pasted in your final draft. And then there are questions down below here. I believe most of you have not done these yet, and you should be able to do at least the first 4 today. All right? What this does is it asks you to reflect on what you've done in each of these categories that has made your letter successful. All right, these are the 5 categories that I will be grading on, and so these help you prove to me that you should get a good grade, hopefully. So I want you to write your answers here. Make sure and look again at my examples, and you will see what a good answer looks like. So oftentimes a good answer has you copying and pasting information. It has you reflecting on why you used that specific information. You can see here I explain why I'm using the supporting evidence I'm using. My organization one, I talk about how my points lead into one another. And then I also include an example of a successful transition to prove that I know how to use transitions effectively. Conclusion, I say why my conclusion works, what makes it successful, why I chose to write it that way. And in the final one on revision, I've chosen 3 ways in which I've revised my letter or experimented with possible revisions, and I actually copy and pasted in what I originally had, and then I talked about how I could change it and why I changed it and why that was better. So perhaps you haven't done enough revision to fill out number 5, but by Wednesday at the end of the day, you need to have revised your paper so that you can have 3 ways, 3 things that you can write about in this section of your self-assessment. So at the end of class on Wednesday, your final letter needs to be done, and your self-assessment questions need to be filled out. So tomorrow we will have the class period to work on that. Today, make sure you get your self-assessment done to the best that you can, and then continue revising and or read a book. Please email me if you have questions.